Hey there, good morning, Proniacs, and welcome to the day after vacation. The Tuesday is always the most productive day, and this is like an Uber Tuesday because we just got back from our vacation. It was supposed to be Oak Harbor, but it turned out to be on Camano Island, which was a really good experience and one that I'll get a little further into in just a moment. So I'm going to walk you back to the back corner of the property, but I want to tell you a quick story about the thoughts that I was having over the weekend, the deep, like, what's going on kind of thoughts. First off, the situation that happened right before we left for vacation. We were scheduled to stay at an Airbnb on Oak Harbor, a cliffside, had great views, and we were leaving within the next 5 minutes right before I got this text message. The text message said, "You have an urgent message from Airbnb in your email." I'm like, cool, maybe it's like a welcome. We are having the hot tub prepared for you, because I'd been asking about the hot tub, if it was going to be open or not. And with no response, so I get this response back that says, "I'm sorry, we had to terminate or cancel," is what they said, "your Airbnb reservation because of sewage problems, but we've set you up in this additional Luskfish Lodge for the days that you are scheduled to be at the other Airbnb." And I look into it and I was like, oh my goodness, it's like Camano Island is an hour and a half, or an hour and 6 minutes is what my map said, away from Oak Harbor. And Oak Harbor is where we were spending the whole trip of visiting family, celebrating birthday parties of Lydia and Britton, Ben, my half-brother's daughter. So we were prepared to have a full weekend in Oak Harbor, do an Easter egg hunt, have all this fun, and it got switched up. And where does your thoughts go from there? That's where I want to stop and just reflect and say, if this happens to you, what do you do? Do you freak out? Do you start yelling and screaming? Or do you go, oh no, what are we gonna do from here? So that's the mindset that I tried to stay in, because that day I was trying to stay in peace and patience to get through the travel day with two toddlers and with Monica. So we were going through this together. I notified Monica very discreetly, and so we decided to take what we were given in the Luskfish Lodge. So with that decision, I decided to continually think on it. Like, what is the opportunity, or what is God doing in our life, or why is this happening? Like, what are we to see or to gain or to learn from this experience? And I took that throughout the entire weekend, and it was just such a peaceful environment in the new location that we ended up staying at, that I was able to think more clearly and spend more time in quality time with Lydia and Georgia and Monica and even Monica's dad. So it turned out to be a really good experience, and I'm still drawing from it what might be some lessons to be learned or some knowledge to take away from it. In those thoughts that I was thinking about, Easter comes up. And when I was walking on the beach with the girls, they have their explorer mornings. And so we were exploring on the beach, checking out all the seashells, what new wildlife, or what they really liked was the driftwood and the beach wood that was there. They also made swings, swings that were on the beach and stuff, and so they had a really good time with that. But what I was thinking, as I tangent again on all of these, but what I was thinking is, what I heard the word affirmations. So this is what got me thinking. Affirmations of Jesus. What were the affirmations of Jesus? Well, let's see. In God's will and testament, it was like, the life of Jesus is to, die and be risen in 3 days. And Jesus affirms this. The affirmation of Jesus is, I am going someplace where you cannot go, right? But I will be risen in 3 days, right? I will die, but be risen in 3 days. And he affirms this in the Bible, and then that's what ends up happening, because it's God's will for his son, Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, thinking deeply into that and applying it to my life, you're like, oh, well, that's Okay, but getting deeply spiritual, it's what are the affirmations that you're telling yourself? And where do these affirmations come from? Well, I will tell you that the affirmations that I make are from the desires that are in my life. So the desires that I want to better myself, to grow, and to be successful come from those desires. And what does desires even mean? Of Him. So He gives you the desires if it's in the right place, out of goodness or out of the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Right? So if you can base your desires of Him out of that, out of the Holy Spirit, and then it could be a guiding force to His will for you, right? And so this is what I related my affirmations to, and how I kind of connected what I go through in my mornings to God's will. So I hope that this is something that you could think about in like your life, of what your desires are and how you're affirming that. And that was just my ideas of Easter and how God works in my life and gives us the blessings and the things that we're receiving each day. As long as we work, right? We got to work towards it. It doesn't just come. It's like those thoughts have to be acted upon. You have to take strong, solid action. I'm going to go ahead and walk through the house also today, but I think that was the full story that I had for you. We're going through a process right now that I'm having to throw a lot of kindness and just understanding, because of the situation where we had to bring Patrick to the Airbnb that was a no pet property, because of the fact that we were rescheduled or relocated to Camino Island, which was awesome. And so yeah, that hasn't been figured out. They charged us a fee and we're trying to get that waived. Anyways, I'll see if I can take you through the house here shortly. And I hope you have a great day. Oh man. I guess one cool part that I'll have to add is that if you continually think about and keep your attention on what God is doing in your life, you'll see that He's always working. And as in Pronoia, He's the controller of the universe, of course, my beliefs, that if He's always working in the universe for us. Of course, there's a lot of lessons to be learned and how to approach those. How's it going?
How's it going?
Good.